Hi everyone, welcome back to another Cut Above with Chris. Head shave time. I haven't fixed my mirror over there yet so I can get a back view of the back of my head for my shaving. But I'm going to be using a soap which I really enjoy. It was kindly sent to me from Mohammed Pia over in South Africa, and it is goat's milk shaving soap, vanilla patchouli, and Wriggly tin, I believe, are the company. Wriggly tin down the bottom. Let me see if I can get that to focus. I think I can. Yeah, beautiful. So all I did, it comes wrapped like a Jeeves of Hudson Street puck in the paper. Unwrapped it, stuck it into this little Sistema tub, which is great until you get to the bottom, because there's actually, I don't know whether you guys can see that, you can see it no problem, that dimple on the bottom where it indents up. While it's in there and it's flat, it's fine, but whenever that dimple becomes apparent at the bottom, it actually starts not damaging, but it causes like a vortex hole in the middle of your brush when you're swirling it around, because it's not pretty flat on the bottom. So once I get so far down, I'll probably have to take that out and put it in a smaller tub. I use it for sort of sample sort of stuff. Right, I think that's pretty much spot on. Let me have a look. Yep, perfect. Okay, so that was the soap. The brush today is the West Coast Shaving Tie-Dye 24mm silver tip, extra dense silver tip. And I absolutely love this brush. I know I talk about it all the time. 3 good flicks, and there's the knot. Just a beautiful brush. I hope I can, let me see if I can get that to, oh, you can sort of see the West Coast Shaving, and that's engraved into, and it's been perfectly done. There's no like little bits of imperfection on the writing. You can see the tips are actually starting to sort of gel a little bit now. They're getting better and better every time I use them. So phenomenal little brush. So let's get it loaded up. Straight in there just with a damp brush. Now one thing that is good about these tubs, they do sort of hold the lather, so as you're loading up in there it sort of stays inside the tub, it doesn't come out and piss all over the place. And it's good practice to get into as well when you're loading your brush, when you're swirling to this, to the right or clockwise, to go anti-clockwise as well every now and then, just to keep the bristles sort of going back to where they should be rather than constantly swirling in one direction all the time. Not that it probably makes any difference at the end of the day, but I find it also aids in loading the brush up better. I'm going to really load this heavy today, or heavier. So there we go. So that's the brush pretty well loaded. I might have to come back for some more because I am, oh, do you know something, I nearly contemplated bowl lathering there, but I'm not going to. Just wet the head. Now this is going to be a real challenge for the razor because I'm using the Muhle R89 that my wife got me for an anniversary, and as you guys know that I've got it, it's not a super efficient razor. It is efficient, but taking into consideration that I've got, I think, about 10 days growth on my head, something like that, I'm not 100% sure. Right, it's a good dip of water this time. It does take, I do actually enjoy shaving this amount of hair off my head, but it does take a fair bit of effort and time to build a lather when your hair's this long. The lather sort of seems to go in when you paint the load on. It sort of goes all into the base of the fibres of your hair, and then it's really half the brush to get in there and actually agitate it and whip up the lather. something I never do. In fact, I've never done this before. Use my left hand for lathering. My right shoulder's a little bit sore today, so why irritate it even more? But I will have to change when I'm doing the sort of precision stuff, because I just don't have my brain doesn't know how to move my left hand. Right, I think that'll do me. Like I say, I'll probably have to go back to the soap. I don't like doing that, but I find I have to quite a bit. I find I have to with natural hair brushes, but that's a pretty thick lather for what it is. I've got a lot of hair on there. Muhle R89, which is a stunning little razor, which was purchased for my anniversary for my wife. Absolutely stunning little razor. It's just the regular one, it's not the grande, it's just the normal size. I've got the same Kai blade in there. So this will be the third use on this Kai. It's done 2 face shaves. And this will be a head shave now, but this should be pretty much coming up for its optimal sharpness. And here we go. With the grain, and as you can see, well, hope you can see, it's whipped that pretty much clean off. Now let's see how it rinses. It rinses really good so far. I'm not sure how I am on the camera right now. I think I might be a bit too far to the side, but I've got to look in the mirror when I'm shaving, but because I don't have the pleasure of looking at myself on the screen anymore, I do have to rely on the mirror, so I have to move a little bit to the side for my head and my face shave. So far it's doing well, but technically this is the really easy bit for the razor. With the grain, it's against the grain is when most razors that aren't really efficient fall short for me on head shaves, because they just do not cut the mustard, so to speak. But this is doing a great job with the grain. I just wonder how to do against the grain. Now someone mentioned, I can't remember who it was now, I have to apologise again, I never remember who comments, I just remember the comments. You'll know who you are. Mentioned that this head is pretty much a carbon copy of the Edwin Jagger DE89, because it was pretty much a collaboration between both companies, I believe. Now, if that's so, for some reason, this just seems to feel better for me than what the DE89 did. It feels it's ever so slightly more efficient, just going on memory only. Now the scent on this one, vanilla and patchouli, is really nice. It's a lovely warm scent. It's not warm outside over here, but it is warm. It's cool in my house, so it's not warm. It is very warm outside, but it's very cool in my house. So using warmer scents in the summer still works for me. It just depends how I'm feeling on a day. And I haven't had a major workout at work today. I haven't had too many windows to clean, so I'm feeling pretty relaxed. And I thought, let's keep with that relaxed and go with the old vanilla patchouli today. And I haven't used it for a while. But the guys over in South Africa are making excellent soaps. The River Valley Trading soaps, absolutely outstanding. That's who Mohammed P. He owns River Valley Trading. And their own brand of soaps, which is made by artisans over there in South Africa, are tremendous. They really are. Now I had the Frosty Bay rum, which I loved. I can't remember exactly what I did with it. I can't remember if I piffed it or I traded it, I cannot remember it all. But it was a lovely soap. Right, now I am going to stick with the grain all the way around because I do have such an amount of growth. And I do have to sort of, even though the hair is so long and it's coming off very easily, I still have to buff as I'm going down just to catch most of the hair off. It's not like the Wunderbar where it's very efficient and you don't really have to do this amount of buffing with it as you're going. Now you can see the lather. It's still lovely and thick. It's a very creamy lather. It's not it never goes aerated. It always stays lovely and creamy generally. If I could show you my sink, you wouldn't believe it. It's absolutely chock as full of hair. Now, I'm sure there'll be guys out there, that would be enough for them. But no freaking way can I walk about without having a BBS head. Do you know something? It's almost like the water in my area has just changed. I've never had great water anyway. But a lot of soaps which I remember for having amazing slickness just don't seem to have it at the moment. I know they were doing works. You know what, I'm just going to go back to the tub, just grab a little bit more soap. Shouldn't have to do this with a soap. You should be able to get plenty of your brush, and I know there would be like saying, oh, I can get 4 head lathers out of one load. Well, I can't. Not with this brush anyway. I can with synthetics, no problem, but natural hair brushes, no. And because I foresee a lot of buffing, I need as much help as I can get. So here we go, the Muhle R89 against the grain with the Kai blade on its third use. Yeah, it's not too bad. I feel like I'm having to buff just a little bit more than normal. I've actually got a little bump there, something that I don't normally have. So far, so good. I mean, let's be honest about it. It's no wunderbar. Or Rockwell 6C, anything like that, R41, but it's doing a pretty good job. And as with the Mergress Mergress razor, it's pretty much the same length, so I do hold it very similar, and it just works. It feels comfortable. I'm able to just pull it in one stroke. It's not tuggy, it's just smooth. But the soaps really allow me to do that as well. The performance on the soap's great. I mean, as you can see, I'm not too that off there, but that lather just there on my head is still thick, creamy, hasn't dissipated at all. Well, that was extremely surprising. I wasn't expecting those sort of results from the R89. I really wasn't. I don't ever remember, do you know, so when I put a bit of water on it, I'm going to get a real amazing residual slickness. I can just feel it. Oh yeah. Yeah. It must just have been that Magnum soap yesterday. I must have had a bad day with my lather. Yeah, that's exceptional. Oh, my coffee will be freezing now. It is absolutely freezing. Can't do cold coffee at all. Just get lathered up again for the third and final pass, because this will be a pass and then pickups as I'm going, using hopefully just residual slickness, but I might use the brush again just to give it a few more strokes on the head and just soften those tips up a little bit more. Just dip the tips a bit, it's a little bit thick. There we go. Phenomenal. So this is just pretty much what I've just done. Just do the exact same again. Just trying to catch anything that I've missed. Which, to be honest, there's not a lot there. Sometimes I wonder why I even do head shaves. You should just do a silent shave and just speed it up. There's certainly nowhere near as much shit talk on a head shave. I do have to concentrate a bit more though. Yeah, the residual slickness on this stuff is really top notch. It's up there with the best, no doubt about it at all. And me and the wife last week as well, I never mentioned it, on the Friday the 17th we went to the Bali, and it was the first time I'd ever used an Uber. They are surprisingly more reliable for turning up on time, or just turning up at all, than taxis over here. However, this was the very first time we'd ever used Uber, which is absolutely fine, nothing at all wrong with that, until we get picked up. We got picked up by an African fella. I'm not sure quite where he was from. He looked, well, he could have been from anywhere, I suppose. I never asked him. It's hard to talk about people with darker coloured skin without using words which are racial or upset people. But fucking hell, this has nothing to do with the colour of his skin or where he was from. He fucking stunk. He was stinking of BO. And what amazed me even more is when we got in the car. Now, bearing in mind this was about 6:30 in the afternoon, or 6:30 in the evening, should I say, not in the afternoon. And we got in the car and it was roasting in the car, boiling hot. So, brand spanking new Kia Sorento the car was. Lovely car, really nice. I was quite surprised when it turned out. I was expecting a bucket of shit because I've never used an Uber before. But it's a really nice car, pretty much brand new. All the mod cons, including aircon. But the aircon wasn't on. In fact, I don't think the aircon had ever been on, because this guy's idea of cooling you down was just roll the windows down every couple of minutes. But what happened was, when he rolled the windows down, the wind came in and just sucked all the smell off his shit, all the BO, and it was fucking horrible, absolutely horrible. Almost, I mean, my wife felt sick, but you were sort of holding your breath. I've never experienced anything like it in a car. Not in a car anyway. I have in a bus before, surprisingly enough, but not in a car. So even though we saved probably maybe $3 on the fare, it really ultimately at the end of the day wasn't worth it. Just for that, it was putrid. So, being the honest folks that we are, I did actually put a review on there. He was a lovely guy, nice guy, just fucking stunk. And I'm sorry, but if you're picking people up, one of the main things you got to do is at least fucking smell nice, at least, or smell of nothing. You don't have to put a cologne on or an aftershave or a deodorant. There's thousands of people out there hate it. In fact, to the point where I think they've actually banned it in some workplaces, putting aftershaves and deodorants and things on, because some people find it offensive. A lot of shit. But I suppose they could be allergic to a lot of this stuff these days. But it just stunk, and it sort of ruined the whole journey. On the upside, they gave us something to laugh about, because when you get to the Bali, you've got to be serious, you know, because it's where all the hoity-toity posh people go, you know, all the la-di-da, all that pish. As much as I want my daughter to succeed at dancing, and I really hope she doesn't get in with that crowd of knobs, there is absolutely no need whatsoever to elevate yourself above anyone else. I don't give a shit if you're a multi-billionaire, you ain't better than me. You might be better at things than me, you might be smarter than me, but you ain't better than me. You're just another person. I don't know why I'm doing another shave. Another full, oh, there you go, there was a bit there. See, that's why I did it. That's why I did a full head lather, just to get this one little section. And I have to say, I can't remember who it was that mentioned about this being a DE89 head. But there's no way that my DE89 shaved as well as this. I don't know why, if it's the exact same head, but going by that logic, when I used the Merca 34C, I found it quite a, not an aggressive razor, but I found it quite definitely on the medium to high medium aggressiveness. Alright, and we're back, cut off. Because I'm using 4K on the rear view camera, it's filling up my storage way quicker. So in the space of 2 videos, which fair enough were like 50 minutes for 2 videos, it filled up what was left on my storage on my phone. So I'm using the front camera at the moment just to finish off the shave about 45 minutes after I've transferred it to my computer. So all I've done is I've put on some Humphreys Lilac Witch Hazel, and I'm going to finish off now with, oh, do you know what, I know I use this stuff more than anything else at the moment, Elvado Royal Tahitian Lime, which I absolutely love. 5 squirts, so it looks like that, and that'll do my head and my face, because I haven't put anything else on my face. Now, in terms of the shave itself, for the head, it was absolutely brilliant. Really impressed. There is just there, just a little bit. I'm not going to whip the razor out again because I've cleaned everything up, but that's all that was left over using the Muhle R89. So, albeit it's the same blade, the same razor head that's on the DE89, if that's correct, and for some reason this shaves better in my opinion. It shaves slightly more efficient than the DE89. So the soap for this one was vanilla patchouli from, well, goat's milk shaving soap from Wriggly tin, based out of South Africa. It is a sort of brown marble effect soap, and it does smell very nice. It is a creamy milky sort of scent, like a cream. It is beautiful. The brush, which has been sat here drying for about 40 minutes, was the West Coast Shaving tie-dye 24mm extra dense silver tip badger. I did pull one hair out at the end there once I'd finished it. There was one loose hair, but in general I'm not losing really many hairs out of this, maybe one every few shaves. Hopefully that'll sort of slow down even more to none. Muhle R89, which, as I'm led to believe, is pretty much the exact same head as the DE89 from Edwin Jagger. But beautiful little razor, and it shaved very well. I was very surprised, considering I had about 10 days growth. It whipped it off quickly against the grain, smooth and efficient for what it was, and yeah, really impressed. Humphreys Lilac and finished off with Royal Tahitian Lime. Now this is a very long shave. I'm not normally this long, but I don't normally use a less efficient razor for so much growth. It was just a bit of a tester of the R89, and I think it passed with flying colours in my opinion. I got no nicks, no cuts, no irritation, and I've got pretty much BBS shave everywhere other than just this little bit here, and even there it's very minimal. I'm only feeling because I'm pushing quite hard. But other than that, thanks very much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed that. I certainly did. It was nice to get it whipped off again and get that lovely smooth BBS skin again on the head. So You guys stay safe, drive safe, don't drink and drive, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Cheers.